For an adjustable rate mortgage, the index is a benchmark interest rate that reflects general market conditions, and the margin is a number set by the lender when applying for a loan. The index and margin are added together to become your interest rate when your initial rate expires. With an adjustable rate mortgage, the rate stays the same, generally for the first year or few years, and then it begins to adjust periodically. Once the rate begins to adjust, the changes to your interest rate are based on the market, not your personal financial situation. To calculate your new interest rate when it's time for it to adjust, lenders use two numbers, the index and the margin. Remember that index plus margin equal the interest rate. As mentioned, the index is a benchmark interest rate that reflects general market conditions. This index changes based on the market. Changes in the index along with your loan's margin determine the changes to the interest rate for an adjustable rate mortgage loan. The lender decides which index the borrower's loan will use when they apply for the loan, and this choice generally won't change after closing. The margin is the number of percentage points added to the index by the mortgage lender to set the interest rate on an adjustable rate mortgage after the initial rate period ends. The margin is set in the loan agreement and won't change after closing. The margin amount depends on the particular lender and loan. It is key to remember that the fully indexed rate is equal to the margin plus the index. Additionally, margins and indexes are two of many terms that determine a borrower's monthly payment for an adjustable rate mortgage. It is also important to understand caps, carryover, and other terms. Put simply, when calculating ARM adjustments, one adds the margin to the index to find the fully indexed rate. Then check to make sure the adjustment, which is the difference between the proposed fully indexed rate and the current interest rate, does not exceed the maximum adjustment cap per adjustment over the life of the loan. Let's take a look at an example. At the time of origination, the initial rate on a 3-1 ARM is 4.25%. The index is 4.75. The margin is 2.75%, and the fully indexed rate is 7.5%. The loan contained 2 caps, meaning the 2 is the maximum change of rate in percentage per adjustment, and the 6 is the maximum lifetime cap. At adjustment, the borrower will receive the lower of the fully indexed rate, or the rate prior to this adjustment, plus 2%. If the index is 5% at the end of the first 3 years, what will the interest rate be after the first adjustment? To find out, first you would calculate the fully indexed rate. You take the 5% index plus the 2.75% margin, which equals 7.75%. Next, you compare this to the current rate prior to adjustment, which is 4.25% plus 2%, which equals to a 6.25% maximum rate limited by adjustment cap. This means that the rate after this adjustment is 6.25%. Let's challenge ourselves even further. What is the interest rate after the next adjustment if the index increases to 5.25%? First, calculate the fully indexed rate by using the 5.25% index plus the 2.75% margin. This equals 8. Next, compare this to the current rate prior to adjustment, which is 6.25% plus 2%. This equals an 8.25% maximum rate limited by an adjustment cap. The rate after this adjustment is the lower of the two rates, so the rate moves to 8.00%. Don't worry if you are confused. We will provide more examples over the next few pages. Additionally, our YouTube channel has several helpful mortgage math videos that you should check out for additional guidance and examples.